One Sunday morning, young Lampton went to fishing in the weir and caught a worm upon his hook he thought looked awful queer. But what the kind of worm it was, young Lampton couldn't tell. He didn't feel like carrying him, so he threw it down a well. Hold your tongues and I'll tell you all an awful story. Hold your tongues and I'll tell you about the worm. The worm got fat and grew an awful size. He had great big teeth and a great big mouth and great big yellow eyes. And when at nights he crawled about to pick up bits of news, if he felt dry upon the road, he milked a dozen cows. Hold your tongues and I'll tell you all an awful story. Hold your tongues and I'll tell you about the worm. The most fearful worm would often feed on calves and lambs and sheep, and swallow little babes alive when they lay down to sleep. And when he'd eaten all he could and he'd had his fill, he crawled away and wrapped his tail 7 times around Pencher's Hill. Hold your tongues and I'll tell you all an awful story. Hold your tongues and I'll tell you about the worm. The news of this most awful worm and his queer goings on soon crossed the seas, got to the ears of brave and bold Sir John. So home he came and caught the beast and cut him into halves, and soon stopped his eating babes and sheep and lambs and calves. Hold your tongues and I'll tell you all an awful story. Hold your tongues and I'll tell you about the worm. So now you know how all the folks on both sides of the weir lost lots of sheep and lots of sleep and lived in mortal fear. Let's have one to brave Sir John that kept the braves from harm, saved cows and calves by making halves of the famous Lampton worm. Folks, I'll hold my tongue, that's all I know about the story of Sir John's clever job with the awful Lampton worm.